My name is Brian Scott. I graduated from the University of Florida in 2008. I got a bachelor's of science in finance, and I've been out here now about a year and a half. I worked first at OpenDNS, and now I work at Playdom as a product manager. And you can contact me at brian@jbrianscott.com.
All right.
So I was probably like 10, 12 years old, and got the idea from my dad to go around and pick up golf balls. We lived on a golf course, and when they let the lakes down, as it rained really hard in the summer in Florida, it exposed all these golf balls that were in the lake. So I go around and pick them up. So, great cost of goods model. Cost of goods were free. And then sell them for like 50 cents to 75 cents. If they were Callaways, I would charge 75 cents. If they were, something else, I would charge 50 cents. And made pretty good amount of money. I think my best day was like $200.
Wow.
I was like, 10, 12 years old, so that was pretty good business. So, a couple things that I really like. I really like the fast-paced nature. I really like the high impact that you have. There's generally not much to no bureaucracy within a startup. So, traditional things that you would have to do at a larger company, like paying dues, seeking out someone who's politically well-standing enough in the firm to advocate your opinion, you just don't have to do in a startup. It's much more democratic. I also just think it's really cool to be able to create a product or a service that millions of people use, and to say that you had a hand in that, whether it's designing the product or, doing some sort of supporting function for it. I think that's very, very cool. So I would say move out here. It's definitely the easiest way to do it. You can work for a startup in Florida, for example. It's just a lot harder because the market's so much smaller there. I love Florida. My family's there. My girlfriend's there right now. Hey, Ashley. But I think a really good metric is the total size of all the venture funds in Florida right now, I think, are a little under $1 billion. And that's about the size of maybe half of a larger fundraise out here in Silicon Valley. So I think NEA just raised like a $2 billion fund. And that's also indicative of how many startups there are, because that's how much money there is to go around, and the idea of the level of risk. Another big cultural point is that it's okay to fail out here doing a startup, whereas in Florida, it's not. And that's not just purely a cultural thing. It's also fundamentally more difficult because when you fail doing a startup out here, you can go to another startup, especially if you're not a founder. If you're a founder, you're expected to stick around longer. That's what the investors want you to do, which makes sense. But especially if you're coming straight out of college and you decide you want to do this for like the first 4 or 5 years of your career, you have the opportunity to move around out here if something doesn't work out, or if you want to try something new that you don't have the opportunity to do in Florida, or at least not staying in startups the whole time. Really the center of the world for technology. That may change. I kind of hope that it doesn't. China and India are certainly coming up, but right now we have the biggest collection of brilliant people who know how to make this ecosystem work here in Silicon Valley. I wouldn't just confine it to San Francisco. I like the Valley a lot too.